Hello, welcome to Time with Mawusi. I am your host and thank you for joining me. Today I'm here with Hadassah and she's going to tell us a little story about herself. So sit back and watch. Hello, Hadassah, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah, Hadassah, this show is about motivating and advising people.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope whatever you're going to tell us today will, motivate somebody that is watching
Okay.
us. Okay, so can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yes, so my name is Hadassah. As you said, I am originally from London. I'm 26.
Hadassah, are you telling me you don't know your age?
After COVID, you forget how old you are. It doesn't even matter. So yeah, I think yes, I am 26. Thank God. I am now living here in Greensboro, but as I said, I was born and raised in London. I left when I was 18 to come to America for college, and I first came to Alabama, which was a really big culture shock from London because it's hot, there's mosquitoes, it smells different from London. It's a lot of nature and stuff. But yeah, I came from Alabama and then I came up to North Carolina, Greensboro, and I just graduated last year from UNCG in public health. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what do you do for a living?
Well, right now I'm in a post-bac position. That's just, I guess, an intermediate position between baccalaureate and whatever else you want to do. So I would like to go to medical school, God willing. So for 2 years, I'm on a research study. It's about Alzheimer's disease and just prevention with exercise. Mm-hmm. The study is actually called PAD2, Physical Activity and Alzheimer's Disease. So I'm just doing that for 2 years, and then my 2 years ends next September. So God willing, after that I can apply to medical school and get in. Mm-hmm.
So then it means you are in the medical field.
Yes, well, by God's grace. Right now I'm in the STEM field, just the science, but that's my prayer. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we just want you to tell us the story that you have today.
Okay. Well, as Auntie Mawusi said, the stories that are here are about motivation. So I think my motivation is from my hardships because I did lose my parents at a very young age.
So what year did you lose your parents?
So I lost my dad. He passed away when I was still in England at 17. He had pancreatic cancer. For anyone who isn't familiar with that cancer, it's very aggressive. So it's a very low chance of survival. So I think it was 7 months between the time he was diagnosed and the time he passed away.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very aggressive. And he was a pastor, so I grew up in the church, and so at least I had that glimmer of hope. I don't think I knew Jesus as I know him now, but I was at least hopeful. So it wasn't as devastating as it would be for people who don't know Jesus, because I knew that I would see my dad again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where was your mom?
So my mom, they were married. So my mom was with me and my siblings. My brothers had already moved to America because they're older, but my sister and I and my mom were still in England. But we were in the middle of transitioning to America because we were going there for college. So the next year we moved to America and went to Alabama, then to North Carolina.
So where is your mom now?
So my mum passed too, actually. She passed when I was 23, so 3 years ago. She passed when we came here. She passed quickly too. She got sick on a Thursday, and by the Saturday she was passed away.
What happened to her?
We don't really know. We think it was like a complication with the flu. That's what they said, and they didn't really know either. When we went in, the doctors, they were sure that she would survive, But yeah, when after she passed away, even the doctors were crying and stuff because they were just like, we didn't expect it to turn like this, you know.
Oh, okay. So with
Yeah.
all this, how did you take it?
I took it, I think, by God's grace, really not as bad as it could have been. I obviously was like sad from losing my parents. You know, you feel kind of like a loss, lostness in your heart, kind of thing, because there's no one else to guide you. You know, you have to like trust strangers almost. But thank God I have a really great family who has supported me and are still supporting me. They, you know, bring us food when we don't ask. You know, I have a home if I ever need it. And God has been really gracious. Like even though we are like without parents, like He is like supplied my sister and I with abundance. She's a year younger than me, and with so much that because we would just try to do everything on our own, but you know He would come and supply things we don't even ask for, but you know some things we didn't even know we needed. And it is hard, especially because like so our church, sometimes homeless people come to our church and you'll hear some of their stories and they'll be like, oh, you know, my parents died and I lost it. Literally, I heard this guy say the story and he just started drinking and he didn't come back. Like he's been out there for years, decades, just homeless, drinking because he was so devastated. And there's no difference between him and me, but the grace of God. Because I mean, I didn't do anything different from him. There was the same like despair, but I guess that hope, the family that like came took us in, and then additional families, like even outside of my own biological family, there have been other people that God has just implanted to just, you know, cover and supply where we don't even know we need, and it's just a blessing. I wake up every day just so grateful because I don't deserve it, you know.
So going through all this, I don't even know what to say. What brought you out? Like what motivated you? What made you forget about all these things? I know you won't forget about it, but what brought you out to be the woman you are today?
I mean, I literally can give no credit but to God, because there's no, I mean, I feel like I didn't do anything. I feel like for my sister and I, what our parents put in us, we kept. You know, they taught us to work hard. They taught us to be kind, to help people. Our parents were very service oriented. My dad was a pastor in England. My mum was the pastor. She was the pastor's wife, you know. So, you know, we all growing up, we'd see them help people. We'd see that, you know, their loyalty is to God. And I strayed while I had my parents, but then after they passed, I realized the gravity of not having God. Where else would you go? So I think that's what brought me out, like how they raised me, and just going back to that, praying, reading my Bible, listening to motivational stuff online, like just, you know, and even just like looking around me and seeing other people and just being grateful. Because I mean, obviously, like it's not like a joyful situation, but you know, there is joy in it somehow. There's hope, you know. So that's what
so
keeps me.
What are your struggles?
My struggles, I think, is, you know, when you have parents, you always have someone to go to that you trust, you know. But with being in England now, I've come to America, and it's just being able to having to, you know, make that transition to go out of your house. I have family who I can go to, but it's just trying to, I guess, reprogram my brain to do it. And I think my struggles are like anyone else, you know, just feeling like giving up sometimes. But I mean, you can't, because like I know that there is a reason I'm here, you know. God doesn't make mistakes. He has like put me through these trials because he says that, you know, he won't put more on you than you'll bear. So if I can bear this, then okay, thank you, Jesus, I'll bear it, you know. And it does get hard sometimes, you know. You just want to just go to bed and never come back out, but you know, you can't, like, you know, I mean, and in those times he brings people to comfort you and stuff.
So what are your goals in life?
My goal, I don't know. So my career goal is I want to open like an adult daycare one day for people who like you know, like Abby, she has a mum and she might want to go to work and then come home. So I want to have an adult daycare where people can, you know, leave their parents somewhere safe and then still come back and get them and let them stay at home with them, you know. And
I'll be here waiting.
Yes, you will. You will. Yeah, and then the clinic side will be the doctor side, the clinic, so that, you know, doctor's appointment, then leave them at the daycare, go do your work, they're fine, you know. They're not gonna like, because you know sometimes being at home as an older person you can kind of deteriorate if you don't have like interactions with people. So that's my goal. Ultimately, my goal is to go to heaven so that I can see my parents, I can see my God, I can this life will be worth something, you know, like that's the ultimate goal.
So do you have hobbies?
Hobbies, let's see, I like to well, I do have hobbies, I just don't do them as much because I'm busier, but I like to paint, I like to read, I like nature, so like swimming and stuff, hiking.
Wow. Okay, so Hadassah, like I said, this show is about advising and motivating people, and this story of yours is, you know, so somebody might be watching and will be going through what you went through. What do you have to tell the person?
Yeah, I think I would tell you that even though it may feel like you're alone sometimes, that you're never alone. I think of Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5 to 6. Just trust in the Lord always. Lean not into your own understanding, because you really only see a little bit of the picture. So if you lean on Him, and He will guide you, He will establish all your goings. You may not fully know it, but if you trust in Him, your heart can be at ease. So that even in the doubt, if you are still like moving in faith, everything will be fine and work out for your good.
Okay. Wow. What a beautiful story. Beautiful and amazing story. Well, I hope you've learned as much as I have today. So thank you so much for watching, and see you around next time. Bye.
Bye.
I think.